Okay, back on First Snow. Unedited version, part 2. Uh, Overall, we're on part 6, I believe. Alright.
Wallace!
Wallace, it's nice to see you again. How's it going?
No.
I'm not joining this club thing, if that's what you're thinking.
Come on!
Word on the street was that pizza was involved. Besides, I don't think I can deal with the both of you without some backup. I'm not that much trouble, am I? Remind me who persuaded me into agreeing to this again. She's got a point. You're the last person who should be agreeing with. Exactly! Smiling and sitting back in the old wooden chair, I take a look about the noisy room. Everyone inside must be thankful for the heat being turned up. The weather outside having been freezing before we entered, there is a certain charm to the restaurant given its exposed aging brick walls and wooden furniture, however hard it may be. Alright, I'm gonna grab some water. Future me, edit this out. Okay, I'm back. It takes a bit of speaking up for us to hear each other over the busily chatting couples and groups around us. But like Dad said, the more people at a restaurant, the better the food will be. Good words. I notice Eileen eyeing Wallace's beer in an unsettled manner. The large glass perspiring away like in a commercial. I'd taken it as apparent age, as just his beard making him look older, but I guess he really does have a few years on us. Man, I miss beer. It goes so well with this. Here I was thinking you were far too uptight to do something like underage drinking. This isn't beer, by the way. This is brisk tea. Remember the trip to Europe me and my family took last year? You think I just drank soda over there? Well,
Seriously?
I was in a month. I don't know what that is. Wallace, I mean, really. Capricia and I can only smile at her little lecture. Don't be sad, Eileen. It's only a couple more years. Then you can drink all you want. That look of pure and unrelenting disdain Eileen gives her at being reminded of the way it goes gleefully ignored, which is probably for the best. Our chatter is interrupted by the arrival of a waiter, a weedy young man, clad in a plain red and black uniform. It's impressive how well he maneuvers our pizzas and sides onto the table, our mouths watering as they steam away. With a curt, please enjoy, he leaves us to our feast. Damn, they're fast.
Exactly!
Best pizza place in the city. How many have you actually tried? Doesn't matter, since I've already tried this place. She says, busily shoving a slice of pizza into her mouth. Eileen starts on hers, but mine catches the eye of Wallace. Oh my god, bro.
Huh?
Vegetarian? You're not a leaf eater? You're not a leaf eater, are you? He says this with genuine concern in his voice. I just like the taste. The answer satisfies him as he goes to work on his own. The fact it's a meat lover's pizza is less than surprising. This stuff is good. Think you can take the wallet hit for tonight?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, no problem. It's a little sad how obviously she's trying to convince herself of the fact. The only reason I'm not having a quick check myself is because I budgeted the trip days in advance, and even Wallace looks like he's doubting himself a little. Such is the life of a struggling college student. Sure is. I really need to get a job. You don't have one either? I'm planning to get one. And when will you?
Huh?
Soon. Soon. Eileen just grimaces. She got me. I was working at the store, Wallace. Not exactly riveting, but it's a living. As I turn to Eileen, she just shrugs as she pulls out another slice. No job and no excuse like studying. Guess I'm a slacker like Capricia. Given her apartment, it's a surprise that she could afford to live in that area and pay her tuition at the same time. I have to admit, I am envious of how she seems to have her life together. I've never met someone as so independent, yet doing such a good job at it. Wallace momentarily brings his phone up to check the time, spurs Capricia into action. Her twisting about in her seat and fussing around with her coat draped over the back takes everyone's attention.
Caprice.
She finally rights herself after a few moments, her own phone proudly in hand. What? Dude, I have no idea what's going on. Just pick one, please. Let's exchange phone numbers. As a club, we have to stay in contact. I quickly turn to grab my phone while Capricia tries to talk a very reluctant Wallace into going along with her plan. His dreary look makes me feel a little sorry for him, especially as he cracks and gives up. At least she and I are already sorted. It wasn't long after we met that Capricia asked to exchange contact details with me. I take my phone in hand and look to Eileen instead, who looks up from eating with little interest. Don't want to? She just shrugs. I feel myself deflate a little from the excitement of earlier, having overestimated how close we'd managed to become. I don't really use it much. Reading the room as she glances about, she reluctantly pulls out an ancient-looking flip phone. I can't help but stare in stunned silence at such a relic.
Huh?
It's not that weird, is it? I just never had a use for a fancy one. It's definitely weird. I was gonna try to get everyone on this group messaging app too. What's wrong with call? The audio just reset. Ugh. What's wrong with calling? You know, that thing phones were made for. Thoughts I had of possibly messaging Eileen start to vanish. I can't imagine her actually wanting to text anybody with that thing, and even the idea of calling somebody fills me with anxiety. Yeah, I have that. As for Eileen, I think I might have inadvertently disappointed her by not tempering Capricia's Capricia's reaction. With a quiet falling over the table, we end up concentrating on our cooling pizza rather than our phones. So? I was right? Best pizza place? At least Capricia's endless enthusiasm and bright nature come in useful sometimes. The mood instantly lifting. You were right. Wallace gives a thumbs up as he tries to grab some cheese coming off the slice he's working on. They don't skip on the toppings, do they? Alright, listen up, everybody. My first executive decision as a club president. Coming here is now a regular event.
No.
Don't try your luck. You've got my art room and warm body for the numbers you needed. That's it.
Eileen.
So cold. I'll come here with you, don't worry. See, Allison's a true friend. She slips her arm around mine and pulls us together tightly. Not knowing how I should react, I end up nervously smiling while feeling myself flushing from the contact. I guess I'm happy to hear her call me a friend. Come on, I want to see artwork of that. Just okay, come on, bro. That's like an artwork worthy moment. Yeah, the crowd sounds keep resetting. At least you got Caprice with you as company during the day, for better or worse. Come on, Eileen, you're not jealous, are you? You and I can hang out at the club all the time now, too. Are you trying to make me reconsider? Capricia satisfies herself with pouting as she takes a big bite from her pizza. Eileen might have agreed to the club, but I do wonder if the two will ever really get along. Probably for the best that I'll be around to mediate. Did I just say meditate? Gotta take another sip. Alright, I'm gonna get close to the mic real quick. I'm glad things turned out this way in the end. Something about Eileen feels different from high school friends or Capricia. Every time we become a little closer, it feels like a small victory. As Capricia grins at me, I realize that I'm smiling widely. I guess things really did turn out well.
Hey, Eileen.
Yes?
Oh my god. Oh my god! They're doing it again!
How do you say cheers in Germany?
Usually Prost. Why?
Dude, title drop. She looks suspicious until Capricia raises her glass of lemonade. The other side of the table groans loudly, but I've already begun to lift my glass in preparation, now left awkwardly dangling in midair.
We're not doing this.
Come on, this is a celebration, right?
Wallace, help me out here.
Wallace pauses, a piece of pizza hovering before his mouth. His dreary stare down makes it clear that he's here for the pizza alone and not having a bar with us. The disappointed Eileen lets it drop, the neutral party going back to its meal.
You're still here celebrating, though. See? Allison's all in for it.
Well, that's one way to drag me into this. All I can do is awkwardly smile and apology as the others grimace. Oh, this is the artwork I saw online. I was looking up First Snow artwork earlier, and this is one of the ones I saw. While I might hesitate to follow her new leader, Wallace and Eileen begrudgingly lift their glasses in solidarity. Bro, I don't know how to say these words. With me. Even if her enthusiasm might not be matched, there is some sense of camaraderie between us all. As I raise my glass, I realize that a familiar feeling is no longer weighing me down. For the first time in a long while, I don't feel the unease of loneliness. In the end, maybe that's enough for me to toast this new club and the friends in it.
To our new art club! Prost!
Prost!
Yes! It's the artwork I saw. This was my favorite, bro. I was literally gonna use this as the thumbnail for my last first snow video, but it wasn't technically in the video, so I decided not to. Alright, everyone out. Capricia and I step out onto the busy sidewalk per Eileen's orders. The chatty girl leaning through the passenger door as Eileen tries to get the car going again. Giving a long stretch to help my stiff back, I do my best to keep out of the way. After news of Eileen's owning a car leaked out, Capricia's mind immediately set about organizing the art club's first outing. Inspiration for our art, she called it, but it was obviously an excuse to hang out. With things having gone this... How do you pronounce that again? Ari? 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 No, I think it's Ari. No, I'm gonna look it up. Know what? No, I don't feel like it. I feel a little bad for going along with the idea, despite Eileen's reluctance. Oh, she looks mad. Their investigation's apparently coming to nothing. Capricia rights herself as the car falls silent. Eileen closes the door behind her with some force before plodding around to us, frustration written all over her face. Looks like the engine won't idle at all. Serves me right for buying secondhand. Know why it's not working?
No.
No idea. She looks a little sheepish for not having the answer on hand, but I can't say I blame her. As the two of us mull over our options, we become distracted by Capricia and her wide grin. She has a plan cooked up already, for better or worse.
Caprice.
What are you smiling about now? I've got this. Just stay right here. I gotta make a call. I swear to God, if she calls Rose...
Catch you later!
Eileen and I grimace at each other in unison. But Capricia bounces off down the street before either of us can object. Getting the phone from her pocket as she walks, she flits between the people around her while unbothered by the ice on the sidewalk. Background hum of people chatting and cars passing by takes over once again as we find ourselves at loose ends. Not like we can go anywhere else anyway. You're not going to stop and try and stop her? Think she'd listen to me if I tried? That's a fair point. Both of them are rather stubborn, so I suppose it's inevitable they clash sometimes. On the bright side, of all places to break down, here isn't so bad. The weather's not too chilly, and it's nice to observe people sometimes, especially when they're bundled up in cute winter outfits. Some city workers in the distance are already beginning to set up the downtown Christmas tree. Wow, I am tired. Providing some entertainment for the people walking by as they struggle with the unwieldy thing. Things will change as last-minute Christmas shoppers and sale hunters start rushing around, but right now it's a pleasant atmosphere. Turning back to Eileen, she doesn't seem as content to patiently pass the time people watching as I am. I'm going to grab a coffee. Want one? I'm fine. Probably having a bit too much of it lately. There's no such thing as too much. As I shake my head at her offer, Eileen simply shrugs and begins strolling down the road in the opposite direction to Capricia. Rather than dance around the crowd, the people make way for Eileen as she moves, her gaze fixed and noticeably taller than most. With little to do now but watch the car, I huff into my gloved hands a couple of times to try and warm them. At least the aquarium should be warmer if we ever manage to finish the trip there. Just as I'm about to settle in and watch the passing crowds, the phone in my pocket begins to vibrate and ring. Not sure who this could be. I quickly grab for it. Dad. Without a second thought, I swipe my finger on the screen to pick up the call.
Hi.
Hey, sweetie. It's good to hear your voice again. How are things? The sound of the crowds fade away as I listen to him. A comfortable warmth coming over me as I feel insulated from their gazes and focused on the conversation. Things are good, I guess. Haven't caught you at a bad time, have I? I should call back later. No, just out with friends. He gives his usual weird laugh, sounding more like air moving through closed teeth and a normal, full-bellied chuckle. It never fails to make me smile all the same, though. What's that about? Just a relief to hear that. We've been so worried. We've all been worried about you finding new friends after such a big change. Both changing schools and moving out. Thinking to people I've met in school, I guess I really have. Capricia pulled me into her orbit. Wallace seems nice and caring for all his intimidating size. And then there's Eileen. They might be a bit odd, but they're all caring in their own ways. It's funny how art seems to have drawn us all together. Drawn us all together, each in a different way. Before I respond, I vaguely hear my mother's voice in the background. Your mother said to ask if things are going okay at home. Everything's good. Rose has been a big help with everything. I almost said lately. That's vastly understating things. If it weren't for her, I don't know how I would have coped. Jeez. I don't know if it's like the font or what, but I cannot read these words. Not just for the constant housework and errands, but also for being away from everyone and everything I knew before. I might still have my ups and downs, but the last thing I want to do is stress them out over me. That's good to hear. Hopefully it'll take a bit of stress off a certain someone. Tell Rose hello for us if you remember.
Sure thing.
Can do. How's everyone there? Your brothers are a pain in the ass, like always, for one. Right on cue. One of them loudly complains in the background. As you can tell. How's Lucy? Same as always. She's sleeping in the other room. I hear my mother's voice again in the background. Ah, right. She knocked a mug off the counter the other day. Your mom gave her a good scolding. I think she's acting out without you around. I assume that's a cat. I can't help but laugh imagining it. My mom exasperated with my cat. Yep. Is this supposed to be Lucy? Like a little keychain of Lucy or what? Anyway, we're getting by. It ain't the same without you, though. In a whispered voice, he continues. It's hard to get a moment's peace around here. Make sure to give your mother a call sometime, okay? I'll call her, don't worry. Atta girl. Anything worrying you on your mind? No, things are good. I realize my mistake the moment I answer, having spoken just a little too quickly to make it seem natural. My mind starts to replay embarrassing situations I've been in. The constant concerns and worries of living alone, the loneliness. Dad's calming voice cuts through, interrupting my spiral thoughts. I better let you get back to your friends. I hope I'm not keeping you away. It's fine. I'm just happy to hear you again. We miss you too. Christmas around here will be a lot warmer once you're back for the holidays. We're going to miss you at Nana's this year. I really can't wait to see all of you again. I'll be looking forward to it. I love you, Allison.
Take care.
Love you too. Bye. I'm going to bet that something goes wrong where Allison can't go back to her family and she spends Christmas with her new friends. I'm calling it now. A few seconds pass before the familiar beeping of the ended call tone rings in my ear. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Putting away the phone, I feel like I should be happy to have spoken to my family again. That couldn't be any further from what I feel, though. The horrible lump in my throat only gets worse as I stare down glumly at the dirty snow on the sidewalk. My heart hurts. The taste of my mother's food, my old bedroom, all the friends I left behind when I went to this college, my cat, they all come flooding back. It's just homesickness. I've dealt with this before, and more than once. The fact it'll pass doesn't help right now, though. Noticing Eileen through the crowd, coffee cup in hand as she sips away, I take a long breath and try to steady myself. I don't want to look weird in front of her, getting all sulky in the middle of the street. That was quick. Hey, the cavalry's here, too. She jerks her head towards the top of the street in answer to my confusion. And of course it's Rose. Right? Capricia frantically waits to flag someone down. Their little car sliding into a parking spot not too far from where Eileen's ended up. It looks well cared for, despite its age. Okay, is this gonna be the new girl that I saw in some of those artworks? It is! Huh, I was kind of hoping it would be Rose, but whatever. I guess that's a new character. All Eileen and I can do is stare as the driver opens the door and steps out. I'm more than a little surprised when I recognize her as being another student from college. She looks to be about our age, despite her ladylike appearance, her tall figure dressed in a smart trench coat and scarf. It's quite a fashionable look, and hardly who I expected to arrive. As Capricia excitedly chats to her, I feel myself shrinking behind Eileen, a little out of shyness. She looks more apathetic about the whole affair, simply taking a sip of coffee. Getting on Eileen's good side made me forget how unsociable she is.
Ta-da! Found a mechanic right nearby!
Bro, I swear to God, pick one! I feel a little sheepish for assuming the worst of her little mission. Capricia seems to be very friendly with the woman, but it's hard to read much into that given Capricia's personality.
Hi, I'm Millie. The two of us are roommates.
Oh, they're roommates?
Mechanic might be stretching things a bit far, but I should be able to help.
And now Millie, It's time for you to meet my art club. Introducing Eileen and Allison.
All I can do is give a weak smile as Eileen snorts in wary disapproval. Like it or not, she looks like we're a part of this misadventure for good.
I could have sworn there was already an art club.
That one is garbage. Mine is the cool art club.
Right, the cool art club.
So that's what you've been so happy about lately. Shame on me for thinking you were ever jealous of my position in the writing club.
Is that what all this is about? Capricia wanted to be on a level with her friend. I guess it worked out well for us anyway.
So you're in charge of the writing club?
The current leader's graduating at the end of this semester, so he's handing the reins to me. Seems I made a good impression on him?
Alright, I'm gonna sneeze. I mean, blow my nose, not sneeze.
And the rest of the club doesn't get a say?
That's how it works. I like to call it a stable line of succession.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Speaking of which, I need to get back to the writing I was doing before I got that phone call. Your car had issues?
Oh, come on, dude. Why do you do... I actually am so annoyed, dude. Pick one! Oh my god, how do I fix this, actually?
Self-voicing disabled.
There's... Yeah, engine died without any warning. Managed to coast it to the side of the road. Eileen doesn't seem exactly taken with the situation. Millie's explanation of her being a writer, not explaining her ability to fix a car. We don't have much option but to put our faith in her at this point. I'm guessing Capricia gave you the briefing. Knew you around to start the thing? Oh, let me. Eileen narrows her eyes, but eventually sighs and chucks her keys at the girl. Capricia's momentary hesitation shows she expected that to work no more than I did.
Okay, fine.
Just don't go for a drive or something. I assure you, you haven't seen me actually angry yet. The seriousness of her tone seems to penetrate a little. I mean, of course, Capricia, being Capricia, it doesn't take long for her to bounce back. Now then, let's fix this thing.
Let's see what I can do.
Right, let's have a look. She gives us a confident smile before popping the hood, Capricia taking on the job of her assistant. To Millie's credit, she looks like a natural, as she quickly moves this and that around, about to peer inside. If you don't need us, we'll go for a short walk, alright?
Yeah.
Got it. The meaning of we becomes clear as Eileen puts a hand around my shoulder to direct me. The two of us walking off beside each other and leaving the two to work. It feels a little weird to have Eileen's arm around my back and holding my shoulder as we walk side by side. Even if it is to guide me, she takes a long while to let go. You sure you're alright leaving them alone? Not at all. Not like I can do anything to actually help, though. Hold on, I want to see what button it is to... Let me read this first. All I can do is awkwardly laugh it off. I don't have the first clue on even day-to-day maintenance for a car after all. So maybe just staying out of the supposed mechanics way might be for the best. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Oh, cool, I can take screenshots. There it is. It's H, okay. Crap. Is there a way to check history or something? L, okay. At least it broke the ice a bit, as I still feel a little unsure when I'm alone with her. I can never seem to get a read on Eileen. Every time we talk, I end up getting caught in her pace. Even now, I'm not sure why she pulled me away to walk with her. No, that's not quite true. She must have noticed me being depressed earlier, even if she isn't saying anything about it. Given how she also invited me over for dinner when I was hungry. It seems like she doesn't really care for me despite her stoic exterior. As she drops her emptied coffee cup into a bin as we pass, I realize it's going to be up to me to raise the subject. So you saw me earlier, huh? You did look a bit bummed when you got off the phone. Didn't want to bring it up if you didn't, though. She left me no choice.
Sorry.
I miss talking to my family after so long. Sorry for being so flustered. Nothing to be sorry for. Nothing to be sorry for. It's only natural.
Huh?
So you're homesick, huh? Sometimes. Moving out for the first time is a big deal. You don't need to beat yourself up over feeling stressed.
Thank you.
Thanks. I thought I was doing okay, but when I heard my dad's voice again, reminded you of what you were away from. I give a simple nod. She didn't seem to be speaking in an overly soft or caring tone, but she isn't. She is listening carefully. I appreciate it, really. She doesn't come off as patronizing. I can't imagine living alone. I have no idea how you do it. She gives an absent-minded shrug. I'm not really fussed about that sort of thing. Besides, Wallace drops by sometimes, and you're welcome as well. It's good that you have a roommate and you get along with, though. That'd help. I get the feeling Eileen's circling around what she actually wants to say. As she looks to me, I think she realized that the game is up. The two of us stopping as she turns in front of me.
Allison.
We're all freshmen here. You, me, Capricia, we're all away from our families and trying to find our new niche. If you want to talk or vent, we're around. Wallace told me you talked, so you have that big oaf as well. That's it, I guess. I might have thought I didn't want to worry her, but her reassurances are more comforting than I'd guessed they'd be. Even as I manage to gather myself, I can't help but smile. I know it's a bit selfish, but it's sort of nice to have someone worried over me. A smug smile, bro. To my surprise, she brings her hand to my head and starts ruffling my hair. It's hard to read her expression as she does so, but I don't feel put off at all. Quite the opposite. She pauses for a moment, face struck. Sorry, if you don't, it's fine. I only just managed to splutter the words out. My dumb smile better at getting the message across. Taking the cue, she begins petting my head once more. I forgot how much I missed simple physical interaction, as awkward as she might be about it. A hug might be a bit more normal. A bit, yeah, okay. But somehow it's hard to imagine Eileen doing that. It's not a secret. I'm not great at this kind of thing at all. Wait. Yeah. Just keep what I said in mind, alright? I will. Everyone's here to help me. I'll remember that. Removing her hand, Eileen and I start heading back towards the car, side by side. It's easy for someone who's outgoing to comfort another, but it feels somehow more sincere from a loner like Eileen. She's making an extra effort for my sake. Bro, we just get back there, the car's on fire. Somehow I feel a little warmer than I did before as we walk back. Maybe the weather's improved, but I doubt that's it. I guess you had experience living alone, haven't you?
Huh?
Me? Just moved out for college, same as you. So, we're in just the same situation. Yet Eileen has everything so together that she can offer me help like this. Moreover, she's known so... What? Like this. Moreover, she's known so this entire time. I just sigh in defeat. College has really driven home... Really? From... What? College has really driven home how everyone's different. Okay. Sure has. The reason for the dreariness in her voice becomes apparent as I follow her gaze. Capricia happily bouncing out of the car and shutting the door as we stroll up. Everyone is sure is different.
Hey!
Hey guys. No fucking... Future me, edit that out. No way she actually took the car for a drive. The impromptu mechanic appears finished as well. Righting herself and closing the hood after poking around inside. Okay, so good. They didn't actually go for a drive. She absentmindedly wipes the sweat off her forehead, leaving some grease on her face before realizing her error. Ha! Whoops. Well, it's fixed for now. Looks like the fuse went. Nothing major. I've done what I can out here, but it needs a proper fix back at a shop. This will get you going now. Eileen's impressed. Impressed look is shared by me. Being so handy is a good trait to have, and she did come all the way here just to help us. I'm impressed. Fixed cars before? I was about to recommend taking it to my dad's auto shop, actually.
Sure.
Your dad's shop is as good as any other. I'll sort something out this afternoon. This is where I'd shake your hand, but and thanks, but you know. Millie gives a self-deprecating smile in her response. Capricia passes her handkerchief from her pocket, which Millie quickly uses to wipe her hands as best she can. Hey, since you're already here, I'll let you all get on with your art club adventure. I have other things I need to do, sorry. She just knew it was coming.
Have fun.
What the fuck? Dude. Pick one. With that, we give our farewells to Millie as she heads back towards her car. Her momentarily churlish grin towards the deflated Capricia doesn't go unnoticed. A rivalry in the making. Eileen snatches her keys back from the girl's hand, wasting no time in addressing the both of us. Now, are we finally going to the aquarium?
Yeah!
She beams brightly, her smile proving infectious. Turning to me, Eileen's emerald eyes stare into my own, checking my reaction after the day's events. As rough as she might be, Eileen really does care about others.
Eileen.
Let's go, Eileen. With this, she gives one of those few smiles she dares give. It feels like a reward to see them, and I find myself wanting to see them more and more. That's the end of that chapter. Alright, let's see how long I've been recording. 47 minutes. I'll go one more chapter. I briefly wonder who's in the art room as I proceed along the second floor hallway. Well, less wonder and more hope. Capricia will be there. I have little doubt of that, but I'm starting to enjoy being around Eileen. Her paintings are nice to see, and anytime I manage to make her warm to me feels somehow rewarding. Someone like Capricia smiles all the time, and the moment we sat beside each other in a biology lecture, my fate was sealed as she began chatting to me without prompting. Well, I don't mind that at all, finding her bubbly attitude uplifting. If a little overbearing, there's little about her that she keeps to herself. When Eileen gives praise, or even just smiles, it feels genuinely earned. I think that's the difference. Is that a Greek painting in the background? Upon reaching the door and opening it, the otherwise empty room is filled with the greetings of a certain loud girl. Sitting at a table with a sketchbook in front of her, she takes a brief break from her work.
Hi!
Good afternoon, Allison.
Hey.
Hey, you look cheerful as usual. I'm super ready for today's art club meeting. She pumps her fist as I walk in, earning a sincere, if wary, smile. I feel a little bad for my first reaction upon entering, being disappointment, given her earnest sense of friendship with me. Shrugging it off, I pile my books onto another table and take a couple of pencils from the side of the table, which Capricia has commandeered. It's pretty good. I can't draw that, that's for sure. Ugh. Yeah, I'm definitely really bad at backgrounds, definitely. I can do a decent amount of like specific things. A glance at the sketchbook Capricia has been sketching in makes me stop in my tracks. I have to look up at her and back down again. Just to confirm that this was done by the same person. Her casual doodles were cute, but she has a real talent for this stuff now that I see her more serious work. I want to see Allison's artwork. I never really questioned how much Capricia has practiced her art. Now that I think of it, I'm left a little chastened for underestimating how much effort she puts into this hobby. Motivated to try a bit harder myself, I take a seat and open one of my notebooks, flipping to a mostly empty page. I ponder for a moment before settling about sketching a cat. They were always my favorite subject to do. Yeah, it's the same cat that is on her keychain, and I assume that's her cat back home. But yeah, it's pretty good. I wonder how long it took her to make that. That's good too. Dang. I mean, that looks like something I would draw. I can't even draw that. Well, I could, but not like right off the top of my head. I lose track of time as I start to get into it, trying to replicate Capricia's shading from memory. It's only when Capricia pipes up with another greeting that I take a break. Arlene strides through the door as I look up, giving a quick perfunctory wave to the both of us. Perfunctory, I mean. Holy crap. She looks barely awake. Me neither. But given how tired she always looks, it's hard to say if it's any worse than usual. As we exchange greetings, and Capricia gets back to her sketching, Eileen's eyes fall on my notebook. Uh-oh. Without breaking stride, she turns on the ball of her high boots to take a detour from her easel and peer at my work. Eileen's figure looms above as she stands in front of me. In front of you? Fingers pressed to the top of my sketchbook as she looks down. It conjures up feelings I haven't felt since middle school, as if a student shrinking before her teacher. Haven't done this in a while, have you? Ouch!
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? If you haven't, you haven't. You have the fundamentals right at least, which only comes with practice. Her fingertip skates back and forth on the paper, pointing out this and that. Musculature? I don't know what that is. Looks off, but that's a pain at the best of times for animals. Try to draw from reference instead of relying on what your mind thinks something looks like. A weight feels as if it's been lifted from my shoulder. Oh, come on. That would, like, drop me, dude. If somebody started talking about my artwork, I would, like, drop kick them. Holy crap. It's not exactly high praise, but the fact she's willing to give me pointers feels like validation. You like cats? I have one back home. Explains it. More of a dog person myself, really. Yeah, you seem like one. Ever had one? Would have been nice, but my parents weren't interested in the idea. Sounds like you and your parents don't get along very well.
No.
We don't. The pet thing's nothing to do with it. They wanted to me to get into one of their approved careers, and I didn't. Oh, I thought it would be something more complicated. Sometimes things really are as simple as they seem. I'm sure things will work out eventually. That's nice. I opened my mouth to respond, but the tone behind her words makes it clear that she considers this discussion over. Yeah. People don't seem to respond to that very well. The air goes cold between us, leaving me at a loss for words as my shoulders slump in defeat. All I wanted to do was cheer her up. Ow! She steps over to another table and pulls off her coat. Capricia gleefully fills the awful silence with her bubbly voice.
Allie!
Dude, she didn't even say Allison. What? Hey, have you tried doing other stuff as well?
Huh?
What do you mean? You know, other kinds of art. There's oils, watercolor, pottery, fletching. I both paint and do sketch work, so it's not like you need to keep to one thing or another. I can get some pottery stuff if you want. Why do you pick pottery? That's like the most boring one. Eileen barely restrains herself from rolling her eyes. By harassing the poor professor into giving you some kiln time and clay.
No!
It's not harassment, it's negotiating. It's harassment. I think I'll be fine for now. Eileen gives me one final piece of advice. She turns around, turns towards the cupboard, talking about advantage. Hold on. Taking advantage of the lull from Capricia's focusing her own work. What? Lull from Capricia focusing her own work. Don't worry about her, just keep at it. Practice might not make perfect, but it'll get you close. I'm sure Eileen means well of her efforts at teaching, but it's a vast change to the way I used to draw as a kid and in high school, being little more than the occasional scribble when an idea struck. Barely having time to put pencil to paper, the clatter at the front of the room draws the attention of both Capricia and I, as Eileen fiddles. Both of us get up to see what's happening. What's up? Standing at the old wooden cabinet at the front of the room. Can you stop that, please? Eileen gives a couple more sharp tugs at the door with all her usual gentleness before turning to Capricia. The door to the cabinet's locked. Nah, they never lock it after class. She bounces over to Eileen and takes the handle in her grip, giving it several pulls at various creative angles in case it's jammed. After one last try, hard enough to have her feet slipping on the floor. Could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said. As they face off, they take a look at the cabinet between them. It's a type of lock I've tried before, and not particularly high-end. Then again, I've never done this with two people peering over my shoulder. Oh, you're gonna lockpick it? As they both look to me, I realize there isn't any backing down now. Glancing out the door to make sure there isn't anyone listening in, I continue on. I can maybe try picking it.
What?
What? You can do that?
Seriously?
Someone sure has a knack for skills that upstanding people shouldn't have. All I can do in response is wilt. But Eileen's not exactly wrong, even if I do like to think I only use such skills when I should. We don't really have much of an option. Think you can do it? Accepting my fate, I get up and hold my hand towards them. I'll need a couple of paper clips. Taking to my feet once more, Eileen and Capricia look more dubious and impressed.
Allie.
Well, did you get it? I mean, sorry. Well, did you get it? A little more confident than Capricia. Her face had been, having been plastered right beside the lock out of curiosity as I worked. I'd take a long breath and reach out to the handle, giving it a timid tug. The relief in the room is palpable as the old door creaks open, revealing shelf upon shelf of supplies. Awesome! Capricia gives a tight hug from behind in impression and excitement, leaving me to awkwardly laugh off the praise as Eileen starts taking her paints and brushes. As she rights herself and Capricia detaches herself from me, Eileen gives a couple of claps on the shoulder with her free hand. You did good. Where, or maybe I should say, why did you pick up skills like that? I just like learning things. Yeah, I've always wanted to learn how to pick a lock. It was like one of those cool things I thought, or one of those things I thought was cool as a kid. Like, my friend had like a lock picking kit to practice. I could never get it. I literally couldn't unlock that thing. I don't know why. He could do it, but I couldn't. Taking an interest in the conversation, Capricia leans back towards us. What kind of things? Other cool stuff like that? Just things. Schoolwork wasn't too hard, so instead of studying, I ended up teaching myself stuff like how to pick locks and tinker with different machines to keep myself occupied.
Huh?
Are you aware of how sketchy that sounds?
Oh!
It's not about doing bad things, they're just puzzles. The point of it, the point is working them out, not getting free stuff. When I put it that way, I guess it is pretty useless to learn. It's pretty funny to be saying right now. Capricia nudges Eileen, who just raises an eyebrow. She makes a decent point. Ignore my yawning. Hoping that no staff were around to notice what just happened, I throw the twisted paper clips into the bin before heading to my table as Capricia takes to hers and Eileen sits at her easel. Without further ado, we each set to work. Dang. It's a nice atmosphere with the three of us working away at our own little projects. I'm not sure sketching cats in a notebook really counts as much of a project, but having friends around makes it somehow more meaningful. Was that the end of the chapter? I don't think so, no. With winter setting in, I find myself settled in. Wait. With winter setting in, I find myself settled in for the evening on the couch watching a movie on the television. A blanket draped over me to try and keep myself warm. Rose still isn't back from work, and with the garbage taken out and washing up done, it probably won't hurt to take things easy for the rest of the evening. A loud ping comes from beside me. My hand automatically reaches for the phone sitting on the couch in response. Probably Rose saying she'll be late, dooming me to microwave noodles for dinner again. Or perhaps not. I don't recognize the number or user avatar at all. Is this Allison? Who is that? That is a very blurry image. If that is your profile picture, please change it. I briefly consider saying no, but that would be mean. I can barely make out their picture beyond what I think to be yellow hair. I don't even know any blondes besides Eileen and Millie, and the latter is unlikely to be messaging me. Eileen? Wallace helped me set this thing up. Okay, so it is Eileen. Bro. What's with your profile pic? I took a photo when I was setting up. Find any nice apps yet? Haven't tried looking. I don't really get it. Can't help but giggle a little. I'm happy she's making the effort when she made it clear she wasn't interested before. I'll help you with it tomorrow. That'll be good, thanks. Sorry if I type slowly, this keyboard is weird. Practice makes perfect. About that. Wanted to say sorry about the parents thing. I was too touchy. It's okay. Wasn't really my business. Life doesn't always have a happy ending. Things don't work out, and that's that. Yeah, still have to try though. People are good. You just need to have faith. At least that's what I think. I don't get you at all. Hey, it's Rose! I think that goes both ways.
Uh-huh.
I see. Taken completely unawares, I leap off the couch and spin around, barely keeping a hold of my phone. Of the phone in my hand.
Oh!
When did you get in? Just now. Sorry I couldn't help myself. I let out a long breath to steady myself as my heart slowly returns to its normal pace. Rose just grins churlishly as she walks off to hang up her coat. Roommate's back. Catch you tomorrow. See you. With that, I tap the side button to lock the phone once more, putting it on the counter beside me. You look happy. All I can do is grimace, my face becoming flushed from embarrassment at her bullying. Thanks to my cheeks mildly hurting, I can tell she isn't wrong. I mean it. Does me good to see you managing to get yourself a circle and all that. You were worried? Can you blame me? No guys around, no friends, always being so nervous. You've changed a lot. I guess Eileen was right. Everyone really is there for me. Rose isn't wrong either. I do have friends now, and the art club's starting to become a welcome little slice of familiarity in the campus. Brisha, Wallace, Eileen. Everyone's really nice to me. Yet it's Eileen I can't stop thinking about. Behind that cold exterior of hers, there's a genuinely kind person. What's with that face? Nothing. Gonna come eat or play with your phone all day? Alright, that's the end of a chapter. Okay. Yep, that's the end. Well, I am actually so tired. I might go to bed after this. But I will see you all in the next one. Have a good time.